High in the Andes, above the reach of rivers and roads, a city clings to a razor-thin mountain ridge. Its stones are cut with impossible precision. Its walls defy earthquakes. Its location defies logic. At over 7,000 feet above sea level, surrounded by sheer cliffs and perpetual mist, one question still haunts archaeologists today. How was a city like this ever built? And why was it built here at all? Pause. This is Machu Picchu, the city that should not exist. The world of the Inca. Long before Europeans crossed the Atlantic, a civilization rose along the spine of South America, mastering some of the most extreme terrain on Earth. The Inca Empire ruled without a written language, without iron tools, without the wheel as a means of transport. And yet, in less than a century, they forged the largest empire in the pre-Columbian Americas. To the Inca, the world was alive. Mountains were sacred beings known as apus. Rivers carried spiritual force. The sun was not merely a star, but a divine ancestor. Their capital, Cuzco, was designed as a cosmic center, its streets and temples aligned with the heavens and the surrounding peaks. Power, religion, and nature were inseparable. It was within this worldview that Machu Picchu was conceived, not as a city for the masses, but as a place of profound significance, hidden, elevated, and intimately connected to the landscape itself. A city lost to time. In July of 1911, guided by local farmers through dense jungle and steep slopes, the American historian Hiram Bingham emerged onto stone terraces swallowed by vegetation. What he revealed to the outside world was not a ruin in the traditional sense, but a city astonishingly intact. Walls still standing, stairways still climbing the mountain, water channels still flowing. The Spanish conquistadors had never recorded it. Colonial maps ignored it. For centuries, it remained invisible to the forces that dismantled much of the Inca world. Its survival was not accidental. It was protected by geography, concealed by cloud forest, and perhaps deliberately abandoned before it could be destroyed. The engineering mystery. The stones are the first thing you notice, massive blocks of granite, some weighing many tons, fitted together so precisely that a blade cannot slip between them. No mortar binds them, no cement holds them in place. And yet these walls have withstood centuries of earthquakes. This technique, known today as ashlar masonry, allowed the structures to move slightly during seismic events, absorbing shock rather than resisting it. Modern engineers still study this method for its elegance and effectiveness. But precision is only part of the mystery. There were no iron chisels, no steel saws, no wheeled carts to move stone across mountains. Each block was shaped by hand, using harder stones as tools, then transported across steep, uneven terrain by human labor alone. Below the temples and residences, the mountain itself was transformed. Agricultural terraces stepped down the slopes, not merely to grow crops, but to stabilize the land. Beneath them lies a sophisticated drainage system, layers of stone, gravel, and soil designed to channel rainwater away and prevent landslides. Fresh water flows through carved channels with gentle, deliberate gradients, feeding fountains that still run today. This was not improvised engineering. It was planned, tested, and executed with extraordinary foresight. Why build a city here? The purpose of Machu Picchu remains debated, but evidence allows us to narrow the possibilities. Many scholars believe it served as a royal estate, likely commissioned by the Inca ruler Pachacuti. The quality of the stonework, the presence of elite residences, and its proximity to sacred mountains all support this interpretation. Others point to its spiritual role. Temples aligned with solstices, stones positioned to frame the rising sun. The surrounding peaks form a sacred geography, turning the entire site into a ceremonial landscape. One structure often associated with astronomical observation marks seasonal transitions essential to Inca agriculture and ritual life. What is clear is this: Machu Picchu was not a fortress, nor a commercial hub. It was a place where power, astronomy, religion, and nature converged. Fact ends here. Hypotheses begin where certainty fades. What remains undisputed is that every theory must account for the site's deliberate placement. The city that should not exist. Even by modern standards, constructing a city in such a location would be a formidable challenge. Today, heavy machinery, explosives, and reinforced concrete are required to build safely in high-altitude seismic zones. The Incas had none of these, and yet they succeeded. They read the mountain rather than fought it. They carved into bedrock instead of leveling it. They aligned structures with natural fault lines, harnessed gravity for water flow, and designed for earthquakes rather than against them. In many ways, Machu Picchu exposes a paradox of progress. With all our technology, we often struggle to build sustainably in extreme environments. The Incas achieved this balance half a millennium ago, using knowledge passed through observation, tradition, and intimate familiarity with the land. Questions that still remain. Why was Machu Picchu abandoned so soon after its construction? Most evidence suggests it was occupied for less than a century. Disease, political collapse, or the fall of the Inca leadership may have played a role, but no definitive answer exists. Why did the Spanish never find it? Its absence from colonial records suggests intentional secrecy, or perhaps that its purpose ended before conquest reached these mountains. And what knowledge has been lost forever? Without a written language, the Incas left no direct explanation of their intentions. The stones remain, but the voices that placed them are silent. A legacy in stone. As the fog rolls across the terraces and the sun rises over the Andes, Machu Picchu feels less like a ruin and more like a conversation across time. It speaks of a civilization that understood its environment not as an obstacle, but as a partner. This city should not exist, by modern assumptions, by conventional logic, by the limits we impose on the past. And yet, it does. Perhaps the greatest mystery of Machu Picchu is not how it was built, but what it reveals about human potential when intelligence, humility, and nature move in harmony. The stones endure, the questions remain, and the mountain keeps its secrets. As the mist closes once more around Machu Picchu, one final thought remains. Civilizations may fade, but knowledge endures if we choose to preserve it. If this journey through the Inca mystery deepened your understanding or sparked your curiosity, support this channel by liking this documentary. Share it with those who value history and hidden truths. Leave a comment with your thoughts or theories. Your perspective becomes part of the discussion. And subscribe to continue exploring the lost cities, ancient engineering, and forgotten worlds that shaped our past. Until our next journey into history, The stones are waiting.